And now, breaking news from KCTV5 News.
Breaking news in Kansas City. A crash is blocking 3 lanes of westbound I-70 just east of downtown. This is a live view of our scout camera on I-70 at 18th Street. You can see the flashing lights of police officers on the scene. A van crashed and there is debris scattered across the road. Thankfully, no one was hurt, but creating quite the slowdown in the area. We'll bring you updates as we get them this morning. Good morning, everyone. It's 8 o'clock on this Saturday. I'm Natalie Davis. We want to get right to your Storm Track 5 forecast with meteorologist Ronell Williams. Good morning, Ronell. Winds also damaged several homes and businesses. Ronell, definitely a good reminder never to drive through flooded roadways. Those waters can be stronger than they appear. Now, while we are enjoying an early breath of spring, some people back east are still digging out. Several cities were hit with a big snowstorm earlier this week, and getting rid of the snow is proving to take some time. Snowplows in Carbondale, Pennsylvania are making up for lost time. Half of them were down for repairs when the storm hit. Oh boy, they are now cutting narrow paths down the streets just wide enough for cars to use. And a young boy in Massachusetts is helping his neighbors. Right after the storm, he started making the rounds, shoveling his neighbors' driveways. What a good kid. He didn't take any money for it. He did it for free. His mother says he's always had a heart for helping people who need it most, especially those who just can't do the job themselves.
She couldn't get out because no one shoveled her, and then me and my friend had to hurry up and shovel.
Oh, the boy says he understands the value of helping others. Plus, believe it or not, he just loves to shovel snow. Oh, Chris, bless his heart.
Oh, Natalie.
Oh, we got to have people like that are willing to lend a helping hand. How great.
He's a better man than I was because I was $5 a driveway.
Oh, Chris.
I know.
And now you're reaping the benefits of more weather,
Yeah.
although today, great weather. Right now, the Missouri Highway Patrol needs your help finding an endangered person. Please take a moment and look at your screen. This is 31-year-old Carl DeBrody. He was last seen in Fulton, Missouri, which is just southeast of Columbia. Investigators say he walked away from home earlier this week. He has apraxia and is legally blind. He also has a number of cognitive disabilities. Please call police if you've seen him. This morning, police are searching for this man. Eminencio Lansdowne is charged in connection with the death of a KCK woman. KCTV5's Rudy Harper spoke with the victim's mother, who's preparing to bury a second daughter who was murdered.
My heart is just literally shattered.
Breaking news out of Kansas City, Kansas. Police say a high-profile murder suspect is now behind bars. Eminencio Lansdowne surrendered this morning after a 5-hour-long standoff with police. He's been charged in the murder of Cassie Eaton. He's accused of shooting her in front of her house at 9th and Kansas Wednesday night. Now, this is a look at the area nearby where KCK police and U.S. Marshals found him. Investigators say when officers approached the house, Lansdowne opened fire. Officers fired back, but no one was hurt. That started a tense standoff that lasted through the night.
Periodically through the night, he did fire shots out towards officers' directions, but no one was injured.
Police were able to talk Lansdowne into giving up. He's now being interviewed by investigators. A vigil was held Saturday to honor Cassie Eaton. Family and friends gathered at the park at Kansas Avenue and 10th Street, not far from where Cassie was killed. They released dozens of balloons into the sky and shared memories. This isn't the only tragedy for the family. Cassie's sister, Pamela Butler, was kidnapped and murdered nearly 18 years ago. Her mother says seeing the amount of people supporting her helps.
All the hugs and everything that I got made me strong, and that's what this is doing here today. All the people giving me hugs, and it's keeping me strong. It's going to keep me fighting. I will get justice for Cassie just like I'm doing for Pamela.
The playground where they gathered is dedicated to Pamela. A lot of people say they felt the same emotions they felt when she was killed back in 1999. Good morning, everyone. It's 9:30 on this Sunday. I'm Natalie Davis. Thank you for joining us. We turn now to Storm Track 5 meteorologist Ronell Williams, who has your Sunday forecast. Ronell. Check out this new video from China. Melting snow has created a giant waterfall of ice. It's 98 feet high and 49 feet wide, and a lot of people are making the trip to see it, but it's in an isolated area, and it takes an hour-long ride on horseback to reach it. Now, Chris, you're a big weather guy. Would you ride an hour on a horse in the middle of the cold to see it?
That's a real good.
That's some dedication.
Yeah, well, you know, you got some.
Welcome back. We have breaking news now in Kansas City, Kansas. Police have found 2 bodies in a parking lot at 109th and Parallel. It's unclear at this point how the people died. Police have not released their names just yet, but we will keep tabs on this story for you. Turning now to weather, a close call for an Arkansas family. Take a look at that tree. A recent storm knocked it down and it sliced through their house, landing in the family's living room. The homeowners say they were watching that tree start to fall, and thank goodness they were able to get out of the way. The family will have to find another place to stay, of course, while that home is being repaired. Wow, Ron, now just another look at severe weather. We are in severe weather season, and that means checking in with you all the time. Yeah. A reunion was held Saturday for some of the University of Kansas Health System's tiniest patients. KCTV5's Amy Anderson shows us more from the annual NICU reunion. A family who lost 2 young children in a crash is mourning. There will be a balloon release in honor of the boys. It's at 2 this afternoon at Sugar Creek Park.
This one's Dustin. That's when he was a firstborn baby. He was in 2011. This is little Brian.
Abby Worley told us those boys were the youngest in their family and that everyone who knew them loved and cared for them. She says Brian was 9 years old. His little brother Dustin had just turned 6. Worley says while the family is devastated by this ordeal, they're focusing on the lives of the 2 boys and trying to comfort each other.
You know, my family, they're struggling. You know, we just lost, you know, the youngest people in our family. I mean, they were the babies. And we're all just trying to understand why everything happened, you know, and everything happens for a reason. I'm just struggling to find out what the reason was for this one.
Police are still investigating what happened leading up to the accident. They say the car was speeding down the street when it crashed and that neither boy was wearing a seatbelt. We have new details this morning about a police dog killed in Wichita. It happened during a standoff. According to police, officers were called to a disturbance involving 2 people. The suspect came out of the house and tried to go back in. Officers say he had a gun. Police released a canine dog which ran to the suspect. Officials say the man shot and killed the dog, and then officers opened fire, killing the suspect. Also new this morning, a Louisiana sheriff's deputy died in a shooting last night in Baton Rouge. The deputy's name has not been released. Investigators say he was investigating a domestic disturbance when he was shot. He was rushed to a hospital where he later died. Reports say the suspect was also hurt and taken to a hospital. This morning, the Trump administration is asking a federal judge in Hawaii to clarify his order blocking the president's revised travel ban. The White House claims the ruling shouldn't apply to some of the new rules on refugees. Officials also claim security officials should be able to review whether other countries are providing enough information to ensure would-be immigrants aren't a security threat. Fears over deportation have some members of California's Latino communities removing their tattoos. There's concern that ICE agents may use the body art as an excuse to stop people and check their immigration status.
A lot of people don't want to be a moving target or even seen as a target, and for fear that they might be considered a certain type of person or judged in any way, people want to get their tattoos removed.
There's no evidence suggesting ICE agents are targeting people based on tattoos, but some people say they don't want to take any chances. Thanks, Ronell. In a developing story, a missing baby boy has been found. Kansas City police say 2-month-old Jordan Pierce Jr. is safe this morning. Investigators say he was taken from his home yesterday. Officers say the boy's father and another man went into the mother's apartment on Bales Avenue, just north of East 95th Street. Police say they took the child at gunpoint. These are the two men police say took the child. They are 25-year-old Jordan Pierce and 20-year-old Kenyon Robinson. Investigators are not saying whether the two are in police custody this morning. New this morning, a man is dead after an early morning shooting. Kansas City police tell us it happened just before 3:30 at 39th and Denver. The man was rushed to a hospital where he later died. His name hasn't been released, but police tell us he was in his 20s. No arrests have been made. Also new this morning, 2 people are shot on board a party bus. A third person was assaulted. It happened at Truman and Ewing last night around 11 o'clock. The shooting victims were taken to the hospital. One of those people is in critical condition this morning. Officers have 2 people in custody. This morning, a woman is in custody after her husband's body was discovered in Missouri. Gemma Donahue is in jail facing a second-degree murder charge. Police got a tip and checked out a potential burial site at a rural Johnson County farm, and that's where they found Javon Donahue's body. Officers then arrested his wife, Gemma. We're following another developing story, this one out of North Korea. North Korea has detained a U.S. citizen. It happened Friday. The man is a Korean-American in his 50s, detained as he was leaving the country. He is the 3rd American now being held by North Korea. In local news, 50 students and 10 teachers at Center Middle School are sick, suffering from something similar to the stomach flu, although at this point it's not clear exactly what. They were all sick between Wednesday and Friday. The school was closed Friday night and activities were canceled so they could clean the building over the weekend.
Crystal, I want to start with you. The butterfly is such a symbol of hope, and children of abuse and neglect really need that hope. Talk about what Spofford Home does.
Well, we actually take that butterfly therapeutically to heart.
You know, if you're one parent feeling overwhelmed by taking care of one child, you guys are the parents and support group for 40 children, and this gala is really going to help that. Jim, tell us about the gala that's coming up and the resources you hope it will provide for these kids.
Yeah, thank you. So it should be a pretty good time for everybody who's there.
An important mission, and what a fun way to help out with that mission. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
For more information on how to take part, you can head to kctv5.com and click on Take 5 to Care.